So, after 10 long years, LEGO's finally released a Republic gunship, but this is not exactly what everyone had in mind. We're looking at set number 75354. Coruscant Guard gunship contains 1,083 pieces and retails for $140. I am not sponsored by LEGO. Comes with 5 minifigs, and this whole set is based from season 6 of the Clone Wars. Obviously you can tell with the 332nd Trooper on the side and the orange strip going across from it. Now, it is indeed strange that LEGO released a different type of gunship instead of the standard that we've been getting since 2002, but I think it's great that they're releasing a different type of gunship, and I'm hoping by the end of this review I helped you decide to pick one up or not. Look, outside the box you get 10 number bags, a sticker sheet, and one big instruction manual. Now, after a very simple and repetitive build, the Republic gunship is relatively small. It's smaller than any other gunship that we ever gotten before, but I think it's really good. It's really compact and it's a really nice design. It looks like a Republic gunship should, so there's no problems there. It's just that the build is rather small. It's smaller than the other Republic gunships that I just mentioned, and it shows because it looks definitely more squished down than any other one, and I don't really know if I quite like that, considering you're paying $140 for this. It's quite expensive just for a smaller gunship that's not even like a proper one. This is a very weird and different one. It's completely red and white, and I do like it, but it's definitely weird and strange they pick this out of just doing a regular gunship or any other one that it could have done, which I prefer they did a different style than this one. Because when you look at it, I don't know, when I look at this thing, it kind of reminds me of a big red fire truck, but it can fly, honestly. And the symbols, the Republic symbols on the sides of it, kind of doesn't help. It kind of just, I don't know, it just looks like a fire truck to me, but it's not bad. I do like it. Like, all around, it's really symmetrical. It looks really good. It's really crisp. I like the shaping of it, of course, because it looks really good, and I think that this is a really good set if you never had a Republic gunship before, and this is like your easiest one to get because the 2013 one is quite expensive. You will be paying up to $700 just to get your hands on a brand new one. The used one is like $400, $500, but yeah, you're paying a lot just to get that. So if you've never had one, and this is including myself in it as well, if you didn't have one, this will be a good one to get, because then at least then you have a Republic gunship. And for a lot of people, this is going to probably be their first one, myself included. This is my first Republic gunship to ever have in person. I always wanted one, so this is good for that. If you never had one, yeah, you're doing good. Now, looking at the functions, the first one is you got 2 turrets in the front, and also you have 2 sliding doors. Technically 4, even though it's supposed to be 2 sliding doors on the gunship, but they didn't do that. They just have one big sliding door, and then you got these 2 front doors that kind of does nothing. They kind of don't really do anything too much, so that's kind of weird. But on the side of the wings, on each side, you have 2 stud shooters, which I think looks really ugly. I don't like it. I think they should have went with the ball turret design, but they didn't. But the ball shape on the wings, but they didn't do that. On the back, you have another little turret piece that you can spin around, and on the side, you have these 2 little mini doors, like little compartments where you could put some small item in. I don't know what, because I don't know. There's nothing small enough that can really fit in there, so I find these 2 doors on the side kind of useless, but that's what they put there. While still in the back, there is a back door that you can open up to deploy troops if you want. Also, with the back door, you cannot actually put it all the way down. No matter how hard I tried to press it, it literally is stuck right there for some reason. It literally is going to just, it's not going to be a full landing pad to open up. It's just going to have this kind of like gap from the ground, so that is kind of weird for them to do that. Moving back to the sliding doors, it's not a lot of space in there, unfortunately. I have a huge problem with even putting a single troop in there, and if you have relatively big hands like I do, that you will have a hard time putting them in there. And now, of course, if you're like a kid, you could probably fit them in there better, but even so, it's still a small space, and even if you put them at the front and try to close it, it won't do it. It'll kind of like either push them all the way back or have them kind of like leaning, and it's not going to really look good. So you have to put them back further, but it's really hard to even get in there because the space is so darn small. It's kind of ridiculous. So I don't really like that at all. I'm not a huge fan of that. While looking at the opening doors in the front, you can slide them up, of course, but I don't get what the function of this is. Also, you have a hard time putting anything in there. I don't know what even it's for. It's for like, I don't know, like injured or dead troops or something, or just for cargo or whatever. I have no idea what it's for. It's kind of just there for look. And one last function, it does have a little handlebar at the top like the previous gunship and the ATT. You can pick it up from the little handle and you can pick up the ship and fly it around as you so please. But I think it's sturdy enough to actually pick up without the little handle piece, but it's good, still good to have it. Before we look at the minifigs, I wanted to do a quick comparison with the ATT and the Coruscant Guard gunship. Now, looking at both of these sets, I think that the ATT is immediately better because one, I think the design is just better because I think I like the ATTs more than Republic gunships, but that's just me. Regardless of that, the size is similar, but I think the ATT is actually a little bit bigger, and it's funny because it has one less piece than the Coruscant Guard gunship. It's really one piece less, but in the ATT you're getting 5 minifigs, well 5 clone troopers and 3 battle droids. If you count them, then you're getting 8 minifigs. In the Coruscant Guard gunship, you're just getting 5 minifigs. So, and they're the same price, so they're both $140, and they're both on shelves right now. So that's kind of crazy, but I think you're getting your money's worth in that set a bit more. But don't get me wrong, the Republic gunship is good. It's decently sized. Like, they're seeing them side by side. I mean, they're good. They look good together. I still prefer a more traditional style gunship instead of this one, or just a different type of gunship. Maybe not this Coruscant Guard style, because I think it's still kind of weird. But yeah, I think the ATT is still better. It's taller than the gunship, of course, because it has the legs, and I think it's a bit wider by I don't know how many inches, but I think that if I had to say which one to pick up, I'm gonna say the ATT before the Coruscant Guard gunship. That's just me. The first minifig we're starting off with is Padme Amidala, and this is a really nice Clone Wars outfit that she has. This is from season 1 though, however. This is not the outfit that she's wearing in the particular arc that this whole gunship is even shown in, so I think that's a little weird, but it's still a really nice figure. No leg printing, unfortunately, but the front and back printing on her is really good. I really do like it, but however, there is a small little problem, and that's her entire face, because this face is not even Padme's face that they use in the previous set. I think the last time we got Padme's face was in the 2013 Republic gunship. So this face right here that we're looking at right now is not even hers. This is Jyn Erso's face from Rogue One, from those sets. So this is not even Padme's face, unfortunately. But regardless of that, I think this is a really nice minifig to have in our collection, because you know we did not have a Padme minifig in 10 years now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Next up is our boy Sheev Palpatine, and he is looking phenomenal, honestly. I think that this is like the best minifig of the entire set, because he really has printing from head to toe, front to back. He is decked out in printing, and it looks really amazing. So they forego the legs that he had in previous sets and just gave him just the dress piece, which I do really like, because I think that's a bit more accurate to how he looks instead of just having just red legs. But regardless, I think it was good either way, because I think the printing looks so good. I mean, he could have with the legs or with the skirt piece, but yeah, the printing is just absolutely stellar. I mean, it is fantastic. think you should really get this set for this minifig. If you didn't have a Palpatine or a prequels Palpatine, this is the set to get him in. So I think this is really good. Next up, you get 2 shock troopers in this set, which I think these are my favorite clone troopers of all times because I love the red. I am a huge fan of red, but I think these troopers look amazing, even with their ugly little helmet warts. And I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't, but I personally am indifferent on that. So I don't like it, but then I'm not going to complain about it either because I just want the troopers. I'm sorry. I like them too much. And also on one of my troopers, one of them have a slight little misprint on his chest. It's like a little mark or whatever. So I think that's a bit strange for him to do that. I got a kind of like, it's not like a deal breaker, but it is definitely a noticeable little piece right there. But regardless, nice leg printing, toe printing, and it's an all-around good minifig. Last but certainly not least, we have Commander Fox, Phase 2 Commander Fox to be exact. And oh boy, this guy is in a whole lot of controversy with his minifig. So start from top to bottom. The top part already is wrong. He's supposed to have a black visor, which they did not do. They just gave him a gray one, which, okay, I think that's kind of weird. On his chest, it should have been double printed or something because it is not opaque enough and it looks kind of pink because you got the red in the back of it and you can kind of see it. It shines through, so it's a little pink. And even on the box, it shows it being white, but it's not the case with the actual minifig. And also under his like main chest plate, that's supposed to be red, and they did not do that either. So that's a bit of a problem. And down to the legs, they did not give him a comma or a waist cape, whatever you want to call it. They cheaped out and just gave him a print, and yikes. So he is kind of a bad minifig, but I'm going to be the contrarian here and say that I personally don't find it too bad. I think this is still a really good minifig, regardless of those glaring issues. I'm sorry. I just think that he looks so unique and cool, in my opinion, that I don't find it that bad. Yes, it could have been better, but I don't think it's the worst minifig ever made. I don't think it's the worst clone trooper ever made, because I think that goes to Captain Vaughn. But I think that people are just a little too complain a little too much with that. I get why they're doing it. I just don't think it's that bad, in my opinion. I think honestly I can ignore those things because we could always just not get it, you know. And it's kind of like I asked the question, would you rather have the minifig and slightly be off or have a few little problems, or just not get it at all? And I guess some people will say probably not get it at all, but I rather at least get something than nothing, personally. So I don't hate it. I'm sorry. Final thoughts. Do I think you should get this set? Absolutely. I think this is I don't say it's a must buy. I think that if you have not gotten the ATT, I say get that one first. But overall, I think you should get it because there's some really good minifigs in this set. I really would hate for anyone to miss out on it. So I say go ahead and pick it up. If you didn't have a gunship before, this will be a good one to get without having to pay like exuberant cost and price. So yeah, I think you get that. The score I give this set is probably a 7.5. Like, it's not bad, it's decent. It's just it could have been better with the size, and the minifigs on the clone side could have been a bit better. But and they could have added one more minifig. They could have added Clovis. That would have been really cool to have than see it in this, but they did not do that, unfortunately. But those have been my thoughts. Tell me yours down below in the comments, because I read every single comment. And with that, I will bid you all adieu.